Epistemology is the theory of knowledge. It determines the nature of human knowledge. In here, we can include social sciences, which have five main problems. 1. The ontological assumptions. This section deals with religion. 2. The object of study of social sciences. In here, we study all the things related to social sciences, such as the individuals or the society. 3. The nature of social sciences. We can measure in here with the quantitative approach or qualitative approach. 4. The relationship between the object under investigation and valuables. You start questioning the objective of investigation. 5. The final meta-scientific research. It explains or interprets something. There are many theories that have contributed to the construction of social sciences, but these do not understand philosophical concepts theories. They are based on nature of the objects and the level of knowledge that can be acquired. Here we're gonna list theories. First one, materialism. In here we stand that everything is material. Democritus and Epicurus told everything is made of atoms. Physicalism considers that a sentence becomes meaningful only if it can be verified. 2. Rationalism. It states that something can be known without any prior experience. 3. Empiricism. Experience is necessary to know something. Is the opposite of rationalism. 4. Realism. Ideas exist whether or not they are thought. Knowledge is possible without the necessary of thought. 5. Idealism. Assumes that objects cannot exist without a mind that is aware of them. It's the opposite of realism. 7. Logical positivism is known as total empiricism based on logic. 8. Phenomenology. It proposed that consciousness involves a relationship with the object and keeps the essence of phenomenon. 9. Analytic philosophy. Everything that can be taught can be expressed by knowledge to describe facts. 10. Hermeneutics. Has the object of investigation the historical as knowledge that can be accomplished is historically meditative.
Topic 7. Social research methodologies. To begin the topic, you must know the meaning of research. According to Hernandez, Fernandez, and Baptista, research is defined as a set of systematic, empirical processes that apply to study of a phenomenon. The goals of social science research can be divided in two groups. Those who seek to know or produce new knowledge related to social phenomena, and those who want to answer questions that arise from a concrete reality. There are three methods of investigation: quantitative investigation, qualitative investigation, and mixed investigation. The quantitative investigation is carried out to test hypotheses looking through the data collection and statistical analysis. The qualitative investigation does not use numerical measurement to answer the research question, and the mixed method involves linking qualitative and quantitative methods in a single study to answer a specific problem. The difference between qualitative and quantitative investigation is that the qualitative investigation is from inductive method and quantitative is for deductive method. An exploratory design seeks to examine an issue or a problem that has not been studied profoundly. Correlational design seeks to relationship or degree of association between two or more variables or concepts. Explanatory designs respond to the causes of phenomena or events and focuses on demonstrating why an event occurs and the condition under which it shows. Grounded designs seek to generate a theorem that explains at a conceptual level an action in a specific area. The ethnographic design studies groups, organizations, communities, or cultural elements such as education, politics, and history. In a narrative design, the researchers collect information about people's lives and then describe and analyze it. The action research designs seek to solve everyday problems immediately and improve the action.
Topic 8. Process of social research. In this topic, we're going to talk about how to complete the quantitative and qualitative method by their own process of social research. This process is determined by the multiple fields of study that it has. And all research methods of this are initiated by brainstorming, which will start with vague ideas, but that they will continue transforming into more specific problems. So now that we know how the research methods get started, we are going to see the steps to follow in the quantitative investigation. The first one is the approach to the problem, where you approach the problem by making a question or getting an idea. Then we have the literature review and development of the theoretical framework, which practically is checking out any other data or any other experimentations that have been done in the past about the same problem. Then we have the visualization of reach of the study, which is practically how deep you want to go into the study. Then we have the development of hypothesis and variables definition. That's making a hypothesis. Then we have the development of investigation design, where you develop the design of your own investigation, how you're going to do your investigation. Then we have the definition and selection of the sample, where you select the type of people or the group of people that you're going to do this investigation. Then you have the data recollection, and that's when you recollect all your numerical data. Then we have the data analysis, where you analyze all your results, and the preparation of progress report. This is the final step, and this is where you do your report about the progress of the investigation. None of the steps that I've mentioned can be skipped to get to the right results of the quantitative investigation. And that's because these steps are in a linear way, so you can skip anyone. In the progress report, which is the final part, you'll get your conclusion, and practically is to relate your hypothesis with the results, and you will see if you were correct or if you weren't correct. Okay, so now that we know the steps for the quantitative investigation, let's see the qualitative investigation. In the qualitative investigation, you will have a method which will be flexible, so you can go back at any point of any step to the beginning if anything goes wrong. It's practically in a circular way where you have a center and you can go back to the center at any point and start at any point. Let's do it in 9 stages. The stage 1 will be to get the idea. The stage 2 will be to approach to the problem. The stage 3 will be the initial immersion process. The stage 4 will be conception of the design research, where you will design your research, how you're going to do it. Then we have the definition of initial sample, where you do your sample. And then you have the data recollection, then the data analysis, which is stage 7. Stage 8 is the results interpretation, and stage 9 is the elaboration of progress report. As I said, in this type of investigation, you can go back at any point to the center and go back to the start, and go back where you started, which mainly will be the idea, but you can also start at the definition of initial sample, where you will decide to who you're going to do this investigation. Alright, with all this being said, we can move to the topic 9, which is field of research. The field of study of contemporary social phenomena is based on different concepts, such as society, class, social group, social processes, and practices that explain the events that occur in a community. A society can be defined as the durable and dynamic union between individuals, families, and groups, but it can also be defined the, as a group of people who share a common habitat and depend on each other for their survival and well-being. We're going to see four different perspectives of society, and the first one we're going to see is the one of Karl Marx, which said that society was an interaction between men, but they cannot choose what kind of society where they will live. And now we have the perspective of Lenin, which consists of groups of men with that differentiate from each other. And one group appropriates the other's work, and class differences are established by their place in the production system, which is kind of the same as Karl Marx. Then we have the Weber perspective, which is a group of individuals who share the same market situation. It involves economic speculation oriented to gain benefits by trading, assumes the existence of monetary economy, and determines the opportunities for people to access properties, goods, or services. Then we have Bourdieu, that it says that are mainly generated in the cultural production, intellectual, and political fields. Alright, so now that we have seen these four perspectives, we can move on. So society is organized into institutions like family, church, state, school, and they share certain cultural characteristics, such as language, cultural beliefs, and territory. Then we have the class concept, which is the criteria used to differentiate individuals in a society. Um, then we have the social groups, which they give identity to of belonging to people. An example of this can be a social club. Then we move on to social practices, which are events that construct social reality. Examples of this can be marriage or graduations. Um, we have different types of social practices. Uh, One is language, which gives identity to us. Then we have religion, which is the belief system that guides us. And the last one, we have culture, which is formed by a series of behavior. Um, with this, we conclude the topic 9 and we move on to topic 10.
Topic 10. Development Zone. In this section, we will discuss some elements that can help you develop research projects on social problems. First, we present four major areas of social science institutions, and finally some specific research problems. Development areas. Economic. In 19th century, liberalism and capitalism starts in Europe, beginning of socialism by Karl Marx. In century 20, globalization starts, and in century 21, globalization of the market economy starts. Social. In 19th century, individualization of human beings and human rights starts. In century 20, social class division begin, and in 21st century, consumerism starts. Political. In 19th century, monopoly state of economics starts when government rule economy. In century 20, imperialist state begin, and in 21st century, democratic state starts. Scientific and technological. In 19th century, improvements of production in factories, workshops, and factories starts. In century 20, exponential growth, generation of new instruments and machines starts. And in 21st century, modernization of everyday life begin. Institutions are also development areas in which investigation can take place. mechanisms or structures that influence the behavior of individuals in a community, have a social purpose, and are considered an essential part of a society. There are two types of institutions: public, created by the state, and private, created by individuals. Both institution types have the accountability to users. Some of them are political institutions. Political institutions are those that are established between the government and citizens of a political system. It is intended that these institutions are democratic, however, they determine, for example, how to get political power, how to perform the ruler duties, how the government manages its resources, among others. Economic institutions. Economic institutions are organized on the products that reach people for consumption, as well as all the decisions that have to do with agencies that collect taxes. The institutions are also related to the economic development society. Some examples are the Ministry of Finance and Public Credit, the Association of Banks of Mexico and its component banks. Social institutions. Social institutions are related to the search for better working and living conditions for the population. It works according to what society needs. These institutions have to do with the administration of justice, environmental protection, recreation, attend emergencies, community services, and charitability. Some examples are the police, firefighters, prosecutors, national parks, the Semarnat, Secretaría de Medio Ambiente y Recursos Naturales. Health institutions. Health institutions are the institutions that relate with health, life treatment and prevention of diseases, emotional and social development of a community. We have as examples the IMSS, Mexican Social Security Institute, the Ministry of Health and private hospitals. Educational institutions. Educational institutes are those that are responsible for providing a comprehensive education to people. Some examples are the Ministry of Education, Tech Millennium, public and private schools. Cultural institutions. Cultural institutions are for the development of skills, tastes, interests, and recreation and the ways to transmit culture. Among these institutions can be found the INBA, National Institute of Fine Arts, the House of Culture, the Ballet of Monterrey.